Alright guys, welcome back to another Shrine update for this week. I know I'm a couple days late, or a day late. I can't remember what day of the week it is, I'm gonna be honest with you. But I know I'm late. So, you know what? Let's just get straight into it. First up, we have Body Knowledge is a perk from Claudette Morel, which basically just makes your healing speed a little bit faster, all the way up to 33%. I think this is a good perk if you want to run a healing style build, but it does get outshined really hard by perks like Will Make It or Autodidact, as long as you can get several stacks for Autodidact. Because at the end of the day, Body Knowledge is it's a very underwhelming perk. Although it does also increase your healing item efficiency by 33%. So if you run this with self care and a medkit, you can actually make that medkit last fucking forever, and it'll heal you pretty quick as well. So uh, it's definitely not an awful perk, but it's not a great one either. Would I recommend buying it from the shrine? No. If you want this perk, just go level up Claudette. Next up, we have Vigil. This is a pretty cool perk from Quentin Smith. Essentially, what this does is that you and any survivors within 8 meters of you will recover from any status effect that you're affected with by 10 to 20%, if I'm remembering correctly. I think it goes up to 20%. And this includes, of course, exhausted, hemorrhage, mangled, hindered, and blindness. This means that you can get your exhaustion back pretty quickly, all things considered. You can go from having a 40-second exhaustion cooldown to a 32-second, I think is the lowest it'll go. This doesn't stack with other people running Vigil. And as a whole, I think it's a really fun perk. It's what people call the infinite sprint burst, infinite head on, infinite dead hard build, where you just run this so you can get those exhaustion perks back mid chase and try and use it again in the same chase. Would I recommend buying this from the shrine? If it's a fun perk, but it's not a good one in my opinion. It's not going to be a meta perk. Obviously, it's not bad, but I don't think this is worth buying from the shrine unless you really want to use it. Now for our killer perks, first up we have Remember Me. This is a perk from Freddy the Nightmare, and essentially what this does is it makes it so that every time you hit your obsession, you will gain one stack, all the way up to 4 stacks, and each of these stacks will give you slower. It'll make the survivors take longer to open X gates, basically by 4 seconds, all the way up to 16 seconds. Essentially, this is just a perk for really late game, and if you're worried about the doors getting open too quickly, you can try and run this. Generally, though, I think it's better to run gen regression perks to actually defend generators instead of defend the doors. And on top of that, the obsession doesn't actually get affected by Remember Me, so that's one person that's not gonna have to worry about this perk at all. So I don't think this is really worth getting from Freddy at all. But if you're playing for a late game build, say Remember Me, Noed, Blood Warden, and Fire Up, I don't fucking know, something like that, then Remember Me could definitely slot into that build really well. And for the last one, we have Modern Abuse. This is a teachable from the Doctor, and essentially what this does is it increases your field of view if you're out of a chase, and it also decreases your tear radius outside of a chase by 8 meters. On top of that, it also increases your tear radius while you're in a chase by 8 meters. So essentially, if you're a standard 32 meter tear radius killer, like Doctor for example, when you're running Modern Abuse, as long as you're out of a chase, you'll have a 24-meter tear radius, and if you're in a chase, you'll have a 40-meter tear radius. This pairs really well with perks like Infectious Fright that base off your tear radius, Colorophobia. Well, honestly, not really Colorophobia, but other perks like that where while you're in a chase, you want a big tear radius. This will really pair well with them, and this also helps out killers that have smaller tear radiuses, like Tier 2 Michael, like the Hag, like the Spirit. They really benefit from this perk because it'll allow them to basically gain more distance on survivors before the starters know that they're coming. Again, do I think this is worth buying? Not really. Just go level up your doctor. Honestly, this is a fun perk to run if you have those other perks to pair it with. But overall, I don't think it's a great one. Anyways, guys, this has been our weekly shrine review, and I will try and not be late for the next one. All right, I'll see you guys then.